rail might be coming through their neighborhood. So we had a great turnout at that meeting. But we also heard loud and clear that there were some potential concerns about that. And actually the alternatives we proposed use the MOCAN alignment, MKT alignment, to just south of Pflugerville. And then we actually come off of that right-of-way on Dessau Road and aim over to 130 to get to Hutto. So we heard from the community that there were some significant concerns about operating through their community. That does not foreclose it from any future opportunity. The system plan that we discussed here today actually continues to show preservation and use of the MOCAN right-of-way as a possibility in the future, but our analysis will look at using a portion of it, but not through Pflugerville proper.
Well, as I recall, we acquired about a 26-mile old MKT right-of-way with a little gap at the Avery Ranch.
That's right.
Home because of the provisions. How much of that is being used?
Probably the lower 40%, 50%, I would say.
And the rest of it?
Again, our hope is to preserve it for future possible use.
Well, the reason I bring that out is that I led a group of 7 entities. Round Rock was included, Georgetown, Capital Metro. There are 7 groups to buy that back in 1988. I don't mean to brag about that, but it's an indication of how long it takes sometimes to get these things in play. And it's a delight to see a system that will utilize at least some, if not most, of that land.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And thank you for your efforts many years ago.
It's only 25 years. Institutional memories are a great thing, though.
Indeed.
Okay. John?
Todd, I'm not quite sure that I understood is rail in the MOCAN corridor not a consideration under these 3 alternatives? And also, I guess, would be the line that I know is studied at some point coming from Round Rock and then connecting into the regional rail system. Is that not an alternative that's being considered?
Rail in MOCAN was not ultimately selected as one of the alternatives to consider. We did consider an upgrade path to rail at some point in the future. The right-of-way could accommodate a busway and still leave room for future rail. So that's one pathway we could look at going forward. One of the key points about this whole effort is that given the state of development and the rapid growth, but the challenges of financing a system, one of the things we did look at and are looking at is ways to phase. So rather than start with the grand solution up front, we think that there will be a phasing plan that says we start with options or elements A, B, and C, but outline a plan as land use patterns change and more growth happens to have an upgrade possibility.
And no rail service to Round Rock?
Not in the 3 alternatives. Other than Lone Star Rail District service, which again was a baseline.
No. Well,
what level of involvement or how has information been shared with Williamson County as we have looked at the Northern Corridor as this committee's work evolves into the larger executive board of the MPO? All those issues will become very relevant and important to how we tie all this into our 2040 plan. So could you share some of that information with me, Todd, please?
Yes, sir. Our primary point of contact with county proper is Bob Day, serves on the Technical Advisory Committee. So he's been an active participant. On the project advisory group, we have representatives from the cities within Williamson County, but we do not have a direct representative from, for example, County Commissioner's Court.
So would it be fair to say that Bob is up to speed on the details
Yes.
of this project? Okay, thank
Definitely.
okay. I think You have more to go here?
No, it's fine. I will email out to you, all the open house dates, all of those kinds of things if you don't have them yet, so that you can ensure your constituents get those if they would like to attend this meeting. And just like we updated you on the North Corridor, the Central Corridor, it will be kicking off here shortly. And Mayor, I was going to let you talk to this slide. Is that all right?
Pardon?
On the establishing a working group for the Central Corridor?
Yeah, I didn't know I had a slide, but I was gonna mention that. Yeah. We're about to embark on a similar process for the Central Corridor that you've begun on the North Corridor, and anticipate we're in a process of assembling a group of stakeholders, and we anticipate having a meeting, I believe it's June 26th is our target planning date. And over the summer, we will have some probably infrequent meetings, but we'll also begin a process that you've gone through on the Northern Corridor, but by having public meetings, and going through that process with the objective of coming out with a similar, with a recommendation back to this group. Probably sometime late this fall would be a good estimate for me. And one of our foci is going to be a more definitive description of the alignment of Phase 1 of urban rail. So we want to make that to be a very public process. We'll go through that, the public hearing process, and have several meetings and report back to this group.
With that, Mayor, just our next steps is the Transit Working Group final report. We'll send that to you on this phase of what we're doing, and then you will, as the Mayor just described, continue getting updates on both the North Corridor and the Central Corridor this fall. And with that, Mayor, we have citizens' comments, and then we have